Okay, so 1111. Um, so we're going to be looking at two stories in this one, and it's about reading comprehension. Why are you not moving? Oh, my cat is about to torture my ukulele. So he found out that the term is catgut. Anyway, um, so this is all about receptive skills, receptive comprehension, and then starting to take yourself through the story and tell the story from the signer's perspective, from trying to match them. If it helps you to sign with them while they do it, that's great. But make sure you can turn off the video and sign it yourself. And make any notes you need to help sort of guide you through. If you find you always lose track at this point, take a note and help yourself through it. And with some of these, you'll find there are different variations. Be really careful with this sign not to touch your index fingers together, because it's a female sexual symbol. And when I moved to Rochester, New York, and started doing things at RIT and getting involved in the deaf community there, there was a story that had just happened either that year or the year before, where a young deaf student was going to college, and this was her first time out on her own. And you have to keep in mind that for many deaf students, if they were either in a school for the deaf in a very tight-knit small community, or they were at home in a variety of different situations, but most often their families didn't sign. So if they signed, they were the only one who did. So communication with the outside world was oftentimes very risky and dangerous and uncertain, and not knowing if you're going to get laughed at, if you're going to get taken advantage of, So very fraught. Plus, add on to the whole thing of freshmen going into college and for the first time with a car full of stuff. And she was driving to campus and got pulled over. And I believe it was for, rolling through a red light or something like that, right on red, and it wasn't right on red. And so she got pulled over. Now, Rochester, because it has such a high population of deaf people, they've been really pretty good about trying to teach first responders some basic signs, and also lots of stores and restaurants have people who know some sign. Yeah. To which the girl freaked out, rolled up the window, and took off. Drove to campus, and the police got in her car, chased him down. Multiple cars got in there. Now she's even more freaked out because now she's just gotten pulled over by a whole bunch of police. They bring in an interpreter, and turns out that the cop just made one slight error, that he didn't say license. So I feel so bad for that officer, and I feel bad for the student too. That a simple miscommunication. I've said it before, and I'll say it again: 80% of sign errors from a hearing person specifically are sexual signs. Do you want coffee? So just be careful. Keep it at it's almost a W license or permit. All these are in the videos, and they break them all down. To smell, starting a car, putting the ignition in or putting the key in. There's lots of ways to say nothing. almost is a good one. I think of it like when you're loading a program on the computer and you've got that little bar that moves along, 15%, 20%, 30%, 50%, 99%, right? So almost, yes, it's almost time, almost time. Okay. So as you watch the story, these are much clearer. So take a look at the vocab list I also include. So here's the brother on the roof, and these are too long. If these videos are really slow to load, let me know. I have smaller versions, but they're not quite as clear, so I can put them in. And my video is. Are you doing that? My video seems to be hiccuping, so I may have to re-record this. Okay. So this is the reading comprehension, goes through bit by bit with each story. Now I've included a lot of information. Question about the layout. There's the answers. A section on eye gaze, starting to notice where the person's looking. And why is that important? So if I turn and look off to one side, I'm talking to that person. If I turn and look this direction, I'm now this person talking to this person. And if I look out at you, I am now the narrator again, stepping out, breaking that fourth wall. Right? So eye gaze is important as to who you're talking to. Now that we're starting to talk about other people and talking for them, that pivoting. And you can't pivot too much. Roll shift, if you want to go to the full 90 degrees, do it, and then you can tone it down as necessary. So we're looking at eye gaze within the story and also classifiers. So, just to look at these, if you're using a ladder, up or down, we don't see the actual ladder, right? You're not like doing this or this. You're showing how you would work with it. So that's an instrument classifier. Hey, I need to. He's just going to keep clawing at me if I do this. Okay, buddy, I have to move you over to the side. Okay, stay there. So you'll see each of these. I wish I could put GIFs into these, but it slows down the slideshow so much. So remember, we did those 8 different types of classifiers. Instrument classifiers, body classifiers, that roll shifting, body part classifiers, eyebrows up, eyebrows down, one eyebrow goes up, Mr. Spock. Gosh, what was that? Holy cow. Body part classifier. Wind, environment classifiers, or element classifiers. Semantic classifiers, that's where you show an object doing, you can do many things with it. A car driving over a hill, down a hill, left, right, that kind of thing. Locative, where you're showing a relationship between two things, the locations relative to each other. I always forget. Oh, plural. Plural classifiers. You show a line. If you've got chairs in a row, cars in a row, a parking lot. So those are plural classifiers. And they're marked in here. I included the gloss now that the stories are getting longer. So take a look at the gloss. I think this one has 3 parts. Yeah. And then I found this online, and another teacher has shared this, where all of the classifiers from the story. So go back and look. If it helps to print up these pages, that may be good, or open it up on your phone and watch it on your laptop or whatever. But it's also good to look at this and go, oh, hold camera, turn to face, hold camera, turn to face Suzanne. Okay. As they go back and forth with role shifting. This second story is the homework from the book from the student book. So if you don't have the book, you wouldn't have this. So I'm including it in here. And it's Lauren talking about a story of trying to trick her parents. So that's a very clever story, and I don't want to give it away. So she goes through the whole thing. But I did the same thing too, where I included questions of what's the right layout that she sets up in her signing space. Eye gaze. Which way is she looking? Who is she talking to, or who is she speaking as? A couple of different classifiers. I think there are 5 in this one. Yeah. And then the answers. And then the gloss again. And I put that same teacher had shared this, and it's great, where all the classifiers are. Much more in this story. And then all of the videos. So it also includes the vocab. So this one's more just about watching stories. So there's not that much that we're signing. Right? So that is it.